Okay, we're coming to the end of these videos. I've got you to a point. This is the doorstep of the old architecture. This is the doorstep of Newman's architecture that I landed on. There's loads more, and it is very, very much more complicated and very much more in depth. We're just standing on the doorstep. I've shown you the new ballroom that Elgar created. He knocked down lots of the poem. He edited the poem. He set the poem to music. I think he fixated upon the dog star thing. I think the dog star TDS is one answer. ACM is another answer. Alpha Canis Major, Alpha Canis Minor. There's obvious musical connotations to the major and minor, and there's also the connotations of the falling seventh, the fall to your death, and the falling head of Charles George Gordon. That's not just all of it. I also mentioned that Newman was particularly interested in Mary, Queen of Scots. She fell to code. He was beefing. He had a beef, and the breaking of Mary's code by a code master in the Elizabethan period, he was angry about, and he wanted to show that he was the code king this time round. He was in a new generation where we'd kind of forgotten about the importance of the code, and he wanted to show that he was the code king. There was a quote by Putin, wasn't there? Who controls AI controls the world. Well, as far as Newman was concerned, they'd had a code war, he'd lost the code war, and now he was coming back for a second go. And he was successful this time. It didn't involve the death of Victoria, it just involved like the Culzean saga, the death of the Queen's top dog. And by nature, he was expected, just like in the Ruatha di Danana, he was expected to take the place of the dog that he'd killed. And, to some extent he did, as a Catholic in Britain. There had been Catholic kings. James, the KJV, was a Catholic event. There had been brief reprisals of Catholicism, but it had never rubbed off very well for any length of time. I've got a book to write. I've written loads of it. This is literally the doorstep of the castle.